Now we're gonna watch the Right-Wing Coalition, okay, introducing the Right-Wing Coalition. That's right. This is my first time reacting to this guy. Okay, I haven't ever watched even any one of his videos. Okay, but Tom Foe recommended him to me, so I added him to the rotation. Now, with that being said, I don't think he uploads that often, or at least he hasn't uploaded really at all over the last couple weeks. This is the first video that I've seen from him in my feed. So, yeah, anyway, you know, if he's good enough, then, I'll consider subscribing, but, with that being said, let's get right into it. Gen Z radicals aren't immature. Oops.
The political activation of Gen Z is obviously gaining quite a bit of attention in the mainstream, and now nearly everybody seems to have an opinion on the general mood of our generation. And I understand that this energy emanating from us can come across as overly excited and perhaps even immature at times. It can seem like a mix of anger, naivety, and juvenile rebellion. But this is truly a deep misunderstanding. We are not driven by the same spirit of a naive political idealist. It may appear this way at times given the force of our conviction, but it's just fundamentally incorrect. We are not possessed by the spirit of a utopian pursuit. A young high school or college leftist is usually extraordinarily overzealous. We've all seen it. They feel no shame as they spout disproven political doctrine and make delusional demands for society. These kids pretty much always have no clue how anything works. They think food just comes from the store, and they'd have no way of explaining to you something like how the lights manage to turn on in a building. It's very easy to believe a utopian vision when you haven't been exposed to how people actually behave, along with what goes into making things work properly. Regardless, I obviously find these people just as annoying as everybody else does, but there is a substantial difference with what we are seeing out of the Zoomers, and the distinction needs to be made. We aren't seeking some magical world that's never existed. We don't think our eventual success would culminate in some type of heaven on earth. We're trying to find a middle ground between utopia and having somewhere approaching 100 million foreign-born people in our country. We'd just really appreciate it if our president didn't openly get called the first Jewish president while he's being dog-walked by a country of 9 million people, and we certainly don't want to see foreign actors bragging about how much they can get our country to do just by giving our leaders a little bit of money.
And I said, this is our first Jewish president.
It's true. Think about it. Thank you. Maybe I will manifest on the you'll think, yeah.
She said, think about it, I'll give you another 250, but...
We don't want to go to war for no logical or discernible reason, and also for no benefit whatsoever to our country. We want a country that's made up of our countrymen. We want honest money that can't be endlessly inflated, and we want criminals put in jail. We don't want this crony capitalist, anarcho-tyrannical, anti-white economic zone that we have now. We think these are all just extremely reasonable requests. And this isn't at all the same as the ideological possession that we see from the left. Plenty of communists are resentful because they're often talentless rejects who just wallow in their own misery. That's not the demographic of Zoomers on the right. Many politically active Gen Z men have good jobs, and lots of us went to college. Many of us are even fathers with great families. Our emotions aren't driven from juvenile...
That's just delusion. That's just delusion. Okay, I'm not saying he's completely wrong. There are Gen Z men that went to college that are conservatives. It's a trend that... I mean, it's not a trend. It's not a trend. It's the opposite of that. Okay? For those of you that don't know, college-educated men are overwhelmingly liberal. They are leftist. Okay, they are not conservatives. This is not real, okay? Now you can say it's because of like university brainwashing. Okay, but then why are you bringing this up like it's a brag? Like, oh yeah, conservative men are college educated too. Like, didn't they experience the same liberal brainwashing? If not, why everyone else and not for them? Why?
Rebelling.
That doesn't make any
Most of us don't
sense.
even want to be involved in this. Our activation comes from the deep betrayal we've been subject to throughout our entire lives. We've watched our societal inheritance get squandered right in front of us, and anything that wasn't outright squandered was then handed off to the most ridiculous, undeserving leeches imaginable, while we were treated like fourth-class citizens in our own country. The radical language used by Gen Z can be off-putting, I get it. It's also often dismissed as some temporary outburst of emotion that will probably dissipate once we get older. A lot of older people will say things like, yeah, wait till you get married and have kids, you won't always be like this. This is by far one of the most irritating things that I hear. It confuses maturity with political apathy. Just don't care, bro. There's more important things than politics. There are certainly more important things in your day-to-day than politics, obviously. You must be so smart to have been able to point that one out. But here's the clarifier. That doesn't then imply that you should stop caring about the systems which dictate your entire life. To blind yourself to that is not maturity, it's just a pathetic level of weakness, and it's laziness and capitulation. And it really does take a hefty amount of retardation and willful ignorance to declare that just having a family will diffuse all the political energy of Zoomers. Because that claim presupposes a world that doesn't even exist anymore. For the average man, good luck finding a wife that has even 10% of the disposition that the average woman had 100 years ago. If you do marry her, have fun having to worry about her every time she has to go downtown or ride the city metro. She might get stabbed for being white, or maybe she'll even get doused in gasoline.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that just happened to me. That just happened to me. It happens all the time. It happens all the time. Fuck, I was on my way over here, and I got lit on fire, bro. They doused me in gasoline and lit me on fire because I'm white. It happened. They did it because I'm white. Ain't that crazy? I can't believe the world we live in, man.
Your
It's
wife files
crazy.
for a no-fault divorce so she can find herself, enjoy getting absolutely raped by the court system. If you manage to have children, who's going to take care of them? Will you make enough money for your wife not to have to work? Or will she simply be a girl boss who refuses to not work? So you'll then end up paying her entire salary just to a stranger to raise your child. Will you be able to afford a private school for your kids? Or will you have to subject them to a completely awful indoctrination camp filled with non-American children, where they'll be taught the opposite of your values, paid for by your tax dollars? Maybe your kid will be persuaded by their teacher that they're trans, and the school will give them hormones without your consent. And if you protest, they might even take your child away from you. All of these scenarios are not just some fantasy. This happens all the time, and it is a direct result of
It
our
happens all the
situation. And this
time.
is just the
All the
absolute
time.
tip of the
Okay.
iceberg. In one specific domain.
Can you give an example? Can you give a case of this happening? I'll wait.
Concerning your immediate family. The world you all would like us to enter doesn't exist anymore. We want that world too. The difference is we aren't lazily pretending that it's still there. We're not being immature by angrily pointing this out. We should be pissed off. You should be too. If you aren't, then what does that say about how castrated you've been? We're not interested in rage baiting. We believe what we say. We want our country back. And so many people are just assuming that that world is still there while they pompously tell Zoomers to grow up. The old world is gone, and that's just no longer up for debate, so stop denying it. I really never want to hear this grow up and give up mindset ever again. People who spout all this nonsense like go touch grass and get married and have kids really do think they're just above it all. In reality, they're pathetic, weak, unbelievably socially illiterate, and probably just fucking stupid. If you're one of these people with this mindset and you do have children, I truly pray for them because they have parents who don't know what is going on at all.
Yeah, I mean, final thoughts. I actually really like that video. He said what I wanted him to say. Okay. Did he get really, like, transphobic with it for a second? Sure. Okay, but, like, this is true. People are angry. Okay, and what he's talking about here is real. Okay, because there's a lot of angry people. And then there's a lot of people that are saying, well, you just need to, like, chill out, buddy. You just need to relax. And it's like, well, no. No, we shouldn't relax. No, things are terrible. Things are really bad. We should be not relaxing right now. We should be doing the opposite of relaxing. Okay? That's what I'm doing. Anyway, great video. I'll subscribe. There you go. Thank you, Right Wing Coalition. All right, that's right. The Ja3starr just joined the Right Wing Coalition. That's right, bro. Oh, hey, there he is. There's the guy. Incredible. We're dead.